Well, I missed the milestone again. So Hockey Fan asks, opinions on rats? Taking this question seriously, at face value, everyone's always like, ew, rats. But if you actually stopped and look at rats, they're actually like really cute. Obviously I wouldn't touch a wild one, but like if someone had a pet and it was like clean and we could vouch for it being clean or whatever, like they're actually pretty cute animals. Lemon VR asks, do you like jazz? No. Jazz is definitely not up there with my favorite genres. I'm more of a like EDM type of guy, so jazz is not favored. Lemon VR also asks, will you remember me when you hit 1 million? Man, I don't know. Hitting 1 million right now is just a pipe dream. If it happens within the next like month, yeah, for sure I'll remember you. But like 5 years down the line, well, that's a bit generous. Like 10 years down the line, if I hit 1 million subscribers, we'll see. If I keep the screenshots of these pictures on my computer, I probably will. But when it comes to that, we'll see, I guess. Boxboy asks, how old are you? Currently, I am 19 years old, turning 20 this year. So I am legally an adult. Airkevbo the First, great name, asks, how long did it take you to hit 500 subscribers? Now, there's two ways I could technically answer this question. One being from when I created my channel to when I actually hit 500 subscribers, being that time frame, or like from when my videos actually started like gaining viewers to 500. Or if we were to do it the latter way, that would be like just over a month, I think. Because I think the first Bone Lab video was posted about a month ago at this point. So yeah, it's been about a month since then. But if we were to do it the first way, my very first video that I ever posted was in 2016, I believe. It's privated now. A lot of my really old videos are privated, so you can't see them because they suck. But yeah, my first video was posted in 2016, so it would be 7 years it took from first video to 500. Nolly, at least I hope that's how you pronounce it, asks, how many subscribers would you want preferably, and how long until I quit? Well, here's the thing. The amount of subscribers I would want preferably is kind of a hard question to ask. I think, because there's two ways, again, I can answer it, being short-term and long-term. I think short-term would be, I think like 1 to 10k is a really nice like short-term goal. Long-term, honestly, long-term, I would be happy with like 250,000 subscribers, like 2,500,000 subscribers. Wait, that makes no sense. Like 250,000 subscribers, I'd be happy with. If I ever hit like 500,000, or if I get 1 million, like that'd be great and wonderful. But it's like, for a gaming YouTuber, that's a really hard number to hit. Now, how long until I quit? Preferably never. Preferably when I die, or YouTube dies. I've had way more fun editing the videos that I have, or I've had way more fun editing the videos that you guys have watched than I've had in my year of working at my like part-time job. Mainly owing to that job being retail, and retail just sucks in general. But either way, like making videos and editing and doing all that and interacting with you guys is just way more fun and way more enjoyable as a job. So preferably never. So I've gotten a lot of questions about what my favorite game is. So yeah, here's all of them. So over the years, because I've been playing games since I was like 3 or 4, my favorite game has changed a lot. At first, the first game I could consistently call my favorite game was Portal 2. That game was amazing. Co-op was super fun. That game is the reason why the word Atlas is in my name, because in Portal 2's co-op mode, there's one of the robots you can play as is called Atlas, and I liked his model, I liked the color of his portals, everything, hence Atlas being in my name. But yeah, that game is just so much fun. If you haven't played it, highly recommend both single player and co-op if you can find people to play with. My favorite game stayed as Portal 2 for a very long time, until eventually it switched to Garry's Mod. Again, another Valve game. I've put over 500, close to 600 hours into Garry's Mod. If you don't know what Garry's Mod is, it's just a sandbox game. But it's really fun, has a lot of possibilities, basically endless possibilities, especially with the modding and the Steam Workshop that the game has. But relatively recently, like within the past 2 years or so, it has switched again, and I don't think anything will really beat it for a long time, but it has switched to Half-Life Alyx. Again, another Valve game, but Half-Life Alyx is a VR prequel to Half-Life 2, and it's just so much fun. Like, the combat is fun, the gunplay feels great, the game really scratches the Luke Goblin in my head. It's just all around great, story's fantastic. I teared up towards the end, not mainly because of the story, but mainly the set pieces. Like, it's just an incredible game all around. Like, I have no complaints for that game. So Pinstripe also asked if I had any game recommendations or games that I think deserve more attention than they currently have. Now, I have a few that I'd like to rifle off at you. Recently, there's 2 games, being Dredge, which was released earlier this year, and Shadows of Doubt, which was released within the past month. Dredge is a atmospheric horror fishing game, which sounds weird, but it's really good and really effective, and I had goosebumps basically the entire way, mainly owing to the fact that I am scared of deep water. Mainly water, bodies of water that I can't see the bottom of, freak me out. So I did not have a fun time playing Dredge, but it's a really good game, and it's getting DLC next year, I think, or later this year, one of the two. So I'm really excited to play that. The other one being Shadows of Doubt, which was released within the past month or so. It's basically an open world, in quotations, sandbox detective murder mystery game. It's a game that has pretty much everything procedurally generated. The city that you play in is procedurally generated. The people who inhabit it, where things are, how things are structured, the tasks that you can do, the murders are also randomly generated, the relationships between people, where people work, when they work, everything is randomly generated, and the world, one of their key things is the world lives on with or without you. So even if you're not doing anything, NPCs will still walk around, they'll still go to restaurants, they'll still work, they'll still do things, even if you're not actively observing them. And it's been a game that's really captured my attention ever since I got in it. Well, first things I should say, it's hard. Despite being randomly generated and procedurally generated, the murder cases that you can do are really tough sometimes. They have lots of dead ends, a lot of misleading clues. Some are easy, but most of them are pretty hard. But yeah, it's a game that I definitely think more eyes should be on, because the quality on it is really high. So there's those two. For some more obscure titles, I would say Gunfire Reborn and Opus Magnum. So Gunfire Reborn is just an FPS roguelite. If you don't know what roguelites are, I'll save you a lot of the boring details, but it's basically a game where you go into a run and you either die or finish the run, and then the whole thing is that you reset back to the start, and then you can buy upgrades or unlock new things that make you stronger. But yeah, it's a really good game, really polished. It's getting its second DLC soon in Q2 of this year, as well as more free updates later. Opus Magnum is a 2D puzzle game that's kind of hard to describe. The whole story is that you're an alchemist. That's it. I don't know, you're using this weird transmutation machine that lets you transmute raw materials into other things. It looks like this. It's kind of the best way to describe it, is just to see it in action. But yeah, it's a really good puzzle game, one of my favorite puzzle games. But yeah, I really recommend you give it a shot. A lot of people asked why I made a YouTube channel. Here's all the questions and all the people's comments. So to answer it, basically, a long time ago, before I even made a YouTube channel, another one of my friends had a YouTube channel, and me and them made videos, basically all being Minecraft videos. We did that for quite a while. We actually got a decent following. I think we had like over 200 subscribers when we stopped. We had a series on it that like the first few parts like actually gained like hundreds of views. The first part I think breaking over 1,000 views. So it was pretty good and everything. But eventually we kind of just like fell out of making videos, and I had that itch to make my own content when we were doing that. So that's my kind of like, I made my own channel, found some free editing software, and then made my own couple of videos. Retrospect, those videos suck, but I was proud of them back then, right? So back then it was basically just for the fact that it was fun and that I wanted to do it, wanted to give it a shot. Because, you know, back then it was always like, you always heard about like PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, you know, the classic content creators, you know, like those big content creators. And I thought it would be fun to do what they did. But it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of confidence to do that and perform well. So I kind of fell off there. And I kind of went back and forth between doing content creation, not doing content creation. I streamed on Twitch for a long time, like a year or so. Gained over like 100 followers there. Then I started streaming on YouTube, and then I streamed back on Twitch, and then fell off of both. And then, as you guys have seen, obviously, because of the views and everything, this year I came back to YouTube a lot more committed and a lot more available to make videos now that, you know, I'm not doing school. And yeah, it's been super rewarding, but as of now, content creation, or why I'm doing content creation, is always going to be because it's fun and it's really enjoyable. But now, kind of entering this like new season of my YouTube channel, I am kind of going with the mindset of exploring content creation as a career path and actually earning money from it. But we'll see, because it's like, if I can do content creation as a job and just entertain you guys and do what I love and get paid and everything for it, like, that's best case scenario, right? Building a community, having a nice tight-knit community while doing what I love and not having to force myself to do a retail job earning $13 an hour, right? Like, that's end game for me, right? So that's kind of why I made a YouTube channel. Now, to get into some more game specific questions, Daniel CH in his question also asked why Rain World in relation to, you know, my latest video being Rain World. Over the years since the game's release, I've always seen videos of Rain World getting recommended to me, and I've always been intrigued by the game, but obviously back then I was a broke little boy and couldn't buy my own game. But nowadays I have money and I can buy it, so I did buy it, and it basically, meme videos of the game have pushed me to buy it. And especially this year with the release of the Downpour DLC adding co-op, 4-player co-op to the game, I thought it was a great game to give it a go, and it is really fun. Lightning also asked how I found out about Rain World. Basically, the answer to the previous question, it was kind of just like meme videos that made me find out about it. They also asked if I'm playing it blind, and very much so. I only knew like the playable characters and the lizards before playing the game, and Danny knew basically less, because I was just like, hey, you want to play this game? He looked at the store page and went, yeah, and then we started playing it. So there's that. Now, on the topic of Rain World, the next Rain World video is going a bit roughly. We're in a really annoying part of the game, so progress is being very slow right now. I'm hoping that we can make some progress and then get the video out for, you know, within a week, but we'll see. We had to lower the difficulty, so we hope that we can make some progress now. But yeah, the area that we're in is just really annoying and borderline unfair, and and unfun. So if everything goes right next time we play, we should make some progress. But anyway, on to some Bone Lab questions. Waddles VR asks, am I going to be accepting people from comments to play Bone Lab or any other games with me? Short answer, no. Long answer, not right now. When I was live streaming on Twitch, I would do that occasionally, right? If people in chat had the game, I would, let them come on and we'd play the game together. But anytime I did that, I never had as much fun as you would hope. Like, I don't know, it just felt very forced and very awkward to play a game with someone you've never even talked to on stream where you're trying to, entertain people. So as of right now, no. In the future, I can kind of foresee myself doing open lobbies. So if we wanted to get a bunch of people just in a Bone Lab fusion lobby and trying to play through the campaign, or dicking around in Pavlov or whatever, I can see myself doing that. But as of right now, I don't really see myself inviting on people. CSS asked, oh my god, it's a long question. Will you ever get tired of Bone Lab content, or am I already tired of it? Short answer, kind of. In terms of playing through the main campaign of the game, basically being Descent, Long Run, and all of that, and then Ascent, a little bit. I don't see myself doing another just regular run of the game like that, unless there's some mod, if we ever do the Chaos mod for the game, we can do the main campaign again, or some funky avatars or whatever, we could probably do the campaign again. But if I have a choice, probably not. Or the next question that they asked is if it's saddening to see the Bone Lab content that I made get so many views whereas my other content doesn't. Yes and no. It is a bit saddening to see that because all of my videos had the same amount of effort put into them. If you look at all my Bone Lab videos, they've all crossed thousands of views. But then, especially even with my Rain World video, that also has over 3,000 views. And then you look at my Lunch Lady return video and my video where I just kind of sat and talked and gave you guys an update. Those both got just over 200 views. While it's still nice to get that many views, it does kind of punch you in the gut a little bit, because it's because I did work equally as hard on the Lunch Lady video that I did with all the Bone Lab videos, and the Bone Lab videos just kind of left everything in the dust, and I didn't really get as rewarded. I didn't get as much dopamine as I did with the Bone Lab stuff as I did with Lunch Lady. But on the other side of that, I am also happy that they performed as well as they did, and same with the Rain World videos, because it really kickstarted my channel. If any of you have tried to start making YouTube videos and start making a channel, you know how disheartening and how saddening the beginner YouTube grind is, right? Where you spend a lot of time on video, you post it, and it gets 30 views at most, and you get maybe a subscriber, and that continues for months upon months, and it takes 8 or more months of constant uploading to even gain consistent viewership and to see those numbers start to rise. But because of those 4 Bone Lab videos, I was able just to kind of speed run my way through that slog, and now basically no matter what I post, because I've built up at least a small consistent viewer base, I can bet on a video getting at least 200 views no matter what it is. Right, whether it's me just sitting and talking, whether it's me playing an old obscure game that no one's heard of and no one cares about anymore, I can still count on you guys watching, enjoying, liking, and commenting on the video, which it does warm my heart, right? But yeah, it does, because those videos blew up, it does kind of skew my stats a little bit. Other than that, just the fact that I now have, viewers, and I do have a bit of a community, kind of blows all that out of the water. Pinto Beans, on the theme of Bone Lab, asked if we could play through the game with one of us being the world's smallest avatar and the other one being the Iron Giant avatar. So if you don't know, there's an avatar called the world's smallest avatar. You're at knee height. And then there's the Iron Giant avatar, which is very tall, very massive, and even in like something like Big Bone Bowling, you're crouched over and touching the ceiling. So logistically, no, because the Iron Giant avatar would not fit in 90% of doorways, right? We were struggling with tall in some areas, and Iron Giant just would not be able to play through the campaign. We might do something with the world's smallest avatar, because that... away I go. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I didn't know the phone could ring in this place. We might mess around with like the world's smallest avatar, because like there is stuff to be done. But in general, just dicking around with some avatars like isn't high on our list with Bone Lab. If anything, if we ever return to Bone Lab, it'll probably just be playing with more friends because it'll be a lot more chaotic, but we'll see. Hayden asks, are we going to continue playing Bone Lab? So in general, I would love to, right? The game's really fun. Fusion makes it extremely funny and extremely enjoyable to play through, but me and Denny have already played through the campaign 2 times together. And I've played the campaign 5 times, right? I've played it through it 3 times by myself and then twice in multiplayer. So currently, we have no real plans to do any more Bone Lab videos unless, you know, we get together as like a big like 4-person group and play through the campaign like that. So if you're hoping for more Bone Lab content soon, I wouldn't hold my breath for it. So I think that's all the questions I have. I'm so sorry if I missed a question that someone asked. I'm just going off of the screenshots that I took last night. So if you have any other questions, you can ask them in the comment section and then I'll just reply with my answers. To end this video, thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. I know I am a tiny bit late, but nevertheless, thank you guys so much. You know, since those first few videos and all of you guys subscribing, liking, commenting, I really feel committed to seeing this channel through. And I hope to see you guys in the future and to hopefully build a nice community that we can all play and enjoy games together. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!